just know the breeds of rabbits that are going to give you enough meat in the shortest period of time. That is why we always have business talks at the farm. So we expect a farmer to come here, spend 2 weeks at the farm. That is compulsory before even we sell to the breeders. When we sell them to you, you have to come to the farm and be here for 2 weeks, hands-on training at the farm, because the most challenges we've been getting from farmers is, most of the challenges they get, they are very simple, but because they have been not on ground, that is why they keep us calling us, because they did not get this on-job training. But starting, it is something very simple. Acquire some piece of land. It could not be so big. It could be your compound somewhere. Get cages. We have specialists who are doing cages. For specialists who will do the feeds at the farm. Get to know where I'm going to buy the feeds, because now this is a business. Rabbits are not going to depend on grass only. Grass is just a supplementary. You have to know where I'm going to get commercial feeds. We shall direct you to people who are doing cages, which are very competent and on standard. So when you get cages, get to know where you're going to get the breeds, get to know which medications you will need, or you get out some vets around there. Then you can come and acquire the breeds from us, or any other. It could not necessarily be from us only, but if you happen to know that this is the good breed I want. Like I told you, if someone wants to do rabbitry as something you want to get as meat is your goal, I want to get meat, just know the breeds of rabbits that are going to give you enough meat in the shortest period of time. In those ones, we have the New Zealand white, we have the chinchilla, we have the California, we have the Flemish giant, we have the checkered giant.
Are those all available here in Uganda?
They are very available.
KALF Rabbitry.
We have them here. Okay. We have them because those are the ones we are specializing on. Because our target, remember I told you, is for us we need rabbit meat. So we are specializing in rabbits that are going to give us weight in the shortest period of time. At least a rabbit of 4 to 5 months supposed to be weighing 5 to 4 kgs.
And if that kind of farmer, rabbit farmer, would like to then go into maybe getting skin, do I still come to KALF Rabbitry?
Of course.
Do you have the breeds for skin as well?
Yes, we have them, but a few of them, because most of it is a few people, farmers out there, who would rear for skin. Because remember, skin is something that it is a long process. Someone going to get a skin, you have to change it into shoes or bags, which should not have here so much. So this meat we are ready. Someone if gets meat, just put it on table, or supermarket or hotel and everywhere. But we have a few of them, the breeds of those ones who want the skins, the Angolas, we have them. But we are mainly focusing on those ones who can give us meat in the shortest period of time. And also we need to get to know which breed you're taking. Because the biggest challenge you have with farmers now, farmers come to us and they tell us they have rabbits, but they do not have market. When you reach out to the rabbits, they are selling, they are telling you that they don't have market, they are local breeds. A local breed cannot weigh up 1.5 kgs. The biggest will weigh 1 kg below, live weight. Meaning that if I slaughter this rabbit, get the head off, the skin off and intestines, I'll remain with half kilo of carcass weight. That is not market. That is poor quality already. I'm not going to buy a rabbit that is going to weigh a half kg, yet I need meat. So then that goes back to the type of the breed you're rearing at the farm.
So for these breeds you've talked about, they had quite fancy names that I got a few of them. Angola, New Zealand. So how much could they go for? The price range, you could give us the range.
Oh, basically for us we are selling all the breeds here at 120,000.
That is each?
Yes. So I don't know about other prices around there, but for us, based on the research, because we've done a lot in this industry, we are getting these breeds from Kenya. In Kenya they are having a National Rabbit Conservation Institute. It is funded by the government. The government brings breeds from outside the countries, pure breeds, and they put them in that area, in that place. So people who need pure breeds, they go to Kenya. So we are getting breeds from Kenya to this place.
Meaning you have pure breeds as well?
Of course.
So apart from these breeds you've talked about having a growth rate that is faster and having quite a number of cages, what other advantages do they have over local breeds?
First of all, their growth rate is very fast.
Okay.
Because a rabbit of 4 months, which is exotic, these breeds we are having, it is ready to mate, it is ready to give birth. At 4 to 5 months, because at least it has enough weight already. So, but these breeds also, they have some challenges. They might not get where you want if you do not feed them well. That is one, because a good breed but with poor feeds, it could still not get good results. So at least you have to put in mind that however much the breed is good, it also comes with the feeding. Farmers, there are some farmers who get good breeds from us, but they start feeding them on this green grass of our usual. So when you get at around 5 months, the rabbit is still weighing 2 kgs. However much it could be still bigger than the other local one. And this one, at least they resist diseases. It is not easier for them to get diseases like the other ones, because they are kept in cages like you see here. It is very hard, provided you maintain the hygiene and the good feeds, at least you would have done away with the diseases.
Speaking of disease resistance, what are the major diseases that usually disturb rabbits, and what are some of the symptoms? How do you go about treatment and all the different cases?
So basically with diseases, like you see, these animals are always caged and they are very resistant on diseases. A few diseases disturb them, and majorly the major causes of diseases in rabbits, hygiene and the feeding. If at least someone maintains the hygiene of the rabbits and also the feeding, it is even better than treating them, because like all know that preventing is better than curing. It is better that someone prevents the diseases before even they encounter the rabbit house, because if this rabbit gets a disease, maybe it has pneumonia, in most cases the rabbit in the next cage would also have to get the same. So it is better you prevent them. Pneumonia, for example, this is a disease that caused by hygiene. Like you've entered this house in the first place, boys are just cleaning. I believe you felt that thing that is so stink, that ammonia in it. So basically, if you do not clean this rabbit house all the time, it is going to make these rabbits, now they are going to start to sneeze. So in the case of sneezing, like you doing like that, you'll be hearing them. So that develops into pneumonia. That in most cases it will start sneezing and bring snuffles. Some people call it snuffles. So in most cases, if you do not detect this disease in the shortest period of time, it is now blocking the respiratory system of the rabbit and will not be breathing well. It is in most cases that you're going to find it that the boys have not cleaned the rabbit house as they're supposed to clean it.
So how often should they clean?
This rabbit house is supposed to be cleaned every day in the morning. Every day in the morning. They come in the morning, feed the rabbits, then they clean.
So
then the next day they also do the same. Every day it's supposed to be cleaned. Yes, once. Cleaning is supposed to be done.
Once in a day?
Once is enough. Once is enough, yes.
So given that big number you have on the farm, the big number of rabbits, then how do you go about knowing that this one is sick of this, this one is sick of this? The symptoms, how do you monitor all the rabbits?
Remember, like I told you, these boys are supposed to be the workers. They are supposed to be in the rabbit house each morning, meaning that each rabbit is supposed to feed. So by the time, like you see, we are caging these rabbits, we are caging the rabbits, we have feeders. The person working in the rabbit house is supposed to feed each rabbit. So in the due of feeding them, this person is supposed to check on the rabbit, whether it is sneezing, whether it does not have appetite, it is not eating. Check on the poo-poo, because that is when coccidiosis then comes in. And another major cause of another big disease is coccidiosis, and this is as a result of feeds. Most people feed these rabbits on everything they find, because they've told them the rabbits eat grass. They just go to the gardens, they just pick the grass, they just go to the markets, they buy cabbages, carrots, and they just give out, which are not good for the digestive system of the rabbit. So it is better to mind what you give the rabbits as feeding, because in turn it will cause bloating. There is also another disease which we call bloating, where the stomach swells like this, and remember, a rabbit is a monogastric animal. It does not gas out. So in case it fails to digest anything in the stomach, it is going to bloat, and you might lose it out. So like you've seen that all the diseases I'm talking about, they are the result of feeding and the hygiene. So if you maintain the feeding and the hygiene, there's most likely that you're not going to cause out. And another thing, it is about the management. How are you managing? That is why I told you in the first place that for us, someone to sell you rabbits, we will advise you to bring someone to the farm and do hands-on training in the rabbit house. We have like a few trainers. You've seen around 5 boys in here.
Yes.
Some of them are just trainers. They are going to other farms. So at least by the time this boy lives here, he knows that a sick rabbit looks like this. If the rabbit, if I'm giving pellets to the rabbit, and I find the next day this rabbit did not eat the pellets, meaning there is something wrong. So try to isolate these rabbits which are sick. For example, you've seen a rabbit which is suffering from snuffles or pneumonia, so it's going to spread it to the different rabbits in different cages. So at least just try to put out some small area like a reserve, an isolation center, such that when this boy finds out this, just isolates it from all the rabbits, then keeps it somewhere that we call a sick bay, like you say I was here. Then it is very easier for a vet to come and treat them. But at least also you personally, the owner of the business, try to get some knowledge, 1 or 2, about the medicines, about what I can give a rabbit with this, because it is not so something that is very hard. Just get that if a rabbit is suffering from pneumonia, I just need this type of vaccine or this type of medicine, like this meals. That is enough.
How are the different treatments administered? Do you put in the water, do you put in the feeds, or is it by injection?
We start both, like we mentioned them. There are some we put, there are some coccidiostatins we put in the pellets because we make our feeds ourselves. Then there are some which we add in water, like the liquid paraffin for bloating. Then there are other which ones are injectable, like the bacillin for the coccidiosis and everything. So it depends on the disease. It will give us how we vaccinate or would administer. How
then do you go about injecting each of these animals here, because there are quite a lot?
Of course, they cannot all be sick at the same time.
Very true.
Yes, so those are like the ones which we had in the food. At least we believe the animal will find it in the food because it will have to eat every day. So those ones which are sick and they need it to be injected, there are a few of them you will find in our sick bay here. Those which we need to administer in the water, because we have tanks in all over the place, like you see. If like we want to put in some vitamins in the water, some glucovit or something of the kind, then we are sure that everyone will have to get.
Very true.
So the ones which are injectable, there are always a few. And since we want to keep this animal and the meat organic, we do not apply so much medicine that are injectable.
So if a farmer has a local breed rabbit and this hybrid that you've given to them, can they crossbreed to get even a better breed?
They can, but still it will not get to the exact product we want. It can change a little bit because at least you'll get the genes of this exotic one crossed with the one which is local. It can change compared to the local. You'll get something. But like I told you, for us we want meat in the shortest period of time. At least we do crossbreeding. For example, I told you have a New Zealand white, a chinchilla, a Flemish giant, and a California. We can do a California with a Flemish giant. We can do a chinchilla with a New Zealand white because they are all exotic breeds and they will still give out the best product we need. But for us, because we are in business and like I told you, we really need meat as soon as yesterday. We do not want to figure out with the local one.